Ever had a moment that felt way bigger than it should have been? Nothing dramatic, no betrayal, no deep wound, just a moment where someone you love does something small, and suddenly it feels like too much. A laugh, a look, a tone. And before you know it, one of you shuts down while the other explodes. Today's Fight Club is about what happens when playfulness meets pressure, and when two good people misread each other in a vulnerable moment. Because sometimes the fight isn't about the moment at all. It's about what your personality and attachment style do inside the moment.
There we go.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to Change the Odds, the podcast for marriage and family. We're never meant to be a game of chance. Kevin Thompson, Adrienne, Blaine Neufeld, welcome back. Here we are.
Here we are, and we're excited to be here.
We've been doing some solo episodes. We've been separated.
Yeah. Two ships
And now we're
passing at
reunited, and it feels so good, right?
Reunited and it feels so good.
Oh, wow. Is that a thing?
Oh,
So I can just name a song and y'all will...
love
yeah.
to do that.
I love every aspect of this.
Yes.
Yes. I won't join in, but I'd be more than happy to kick it off in that way.
Let us
Okay.
know.
So, all right. So today we have something on Fight Club we haven't had before, and I love it because we have a dating relationship.
Yes.
Ooh, dating.
This
So
is new.
now we can dig in.
Yeah. And they're two good people, it says, right?
Great people.
Two good.
Oh, well, but everybody we have here are great people, Blaine, here on
they?
Change the Odds, the podcast. We don't deal with bad people.
That's right.
That's a whole different scenario and story. But so we're going to have a dating couple. There's an interesting dynamic within that. Normally, whenever we're talking about married couples, it really is you're committed. You have to be in this. How do you make this work? Here we have this whole other mindset of you're discovering who each other is.
Yeah.
You don't have to hang on.
Right.
You can break up. You
Yeah.
can go a different direction.
Right.
So that's an interesting concept. So Adrienne, you want to read this letter?
I do.
Let's go.
Okay. Dear Fight Club, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 5 months. We don't really fight much, but something small happened at the gym that felt bigger than it should have. I was being playful while we worked out, trying to keep things light. Ethan laughed at first, so I thought...
The name?
The name? Does that matter?
What's that?
She said the name.
Yeah, you're supposed to say the name.
Oh, okay.
The
Keep
names
going
are
then.
made up.
Oh, the names are made up.
Keep
I
going.
thought they were real people.
No, they are real people, so we changed the names.
Oh,
Right,
that's a trick
right.
that the writer
Okay.
does.
Keep it
Nice.
going. Yes.
love that.
Hey, so you know why we changed the names? I like the fact that I wasn't paying attention. Do you know why we changed the names? So we don't get sued.
Oh,
That's why we changed the names.
Yeah.
Even though they're sending in their real names, I don't care. So whenever I write a book, always the names are changed.
Oh, okay.
Publisher calls me, hey, you did change these names, right? Oh, yeah.
not only did we
definitely
change the names, but we changed the
We
odds.
changed the
Continue
names
on,
and
babe.
changed the
Okay.
odds.
Ethan, what a guy, right?
Ethan, love him.
laughed at first, so I thought we were just having fun. But during one of his sets, I made him laugh again, and this time he suddenly stopped and yelled, "Stop laughing." I was shocked. I didn't even know he was upset. I just went quiet and gave him space because I didn't want to make it worse. I felt bad and didn't want tension between us. Later, he apologized and explained he was frustrated because laughing made it harder to focus during his lifts. We hugged and finished our workout, but it left me confused about how something playful turned into something intense so fast. Me is a 9 with secure attachment, and Ethan is 2 with avoidant.
Oh, there we go. Here's what I love about this story, though, that you already hear something really positive, and that is the repair that took place. So
Yeah.
Dan Siegel years ago coined this phrase rupture and repair. So the idea of every relationship has a rupture. It's disconnection. Something happens, you don't feel close in any way, and the power is not minimizing that. Those are going to happen. They're unavoidable. But it's the couple that has the ability to repair. And you see a strength here that they found a way at the end to come back. Now, this isn't the biggest fight of all time by any means, but notice how quickly the rupture and the repair took place. We're
Right.
talking about it sounds like within 20, 30 minutes, they've experienced this disconnection. Now they've already come back and repaired. So
Yeah.
that's a beautiful kind of concept.
Yeah. I love the idea. I mean, first off, I love dating. Big fan of dating season. You know what I'm saying, babe?
For other people.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
we dated for a long
but
time.
I love dating. So it's fun. But if we could go back to like analyze our personalities in the dating, so much stress could be taken away from.
Yeah, we were also so young, our brains weren't even developed.
That's true. That is true.
Imagine
too.
dating in your 30s. That's
Yeah.
very different,
No,
I'm
I don't
sure.
want to.
No, I don't want to either.
No, I
But I think it'd be hard.
No doubt it's hard. The challenge in your 30s now in dating is many times at that point you're going to have some relational baggage. So now not only are you relating to the person, you're interpreting that through past hurt and relationships and hardships.
Yeah.
And so that can make it difficult. If you're 30 and dating with no true relationship baggage, you're actually far more likely to think rationally, to make a good choice, to actually have a marriage that's going to last if that's what happens. However, if you bring in this relationship baggage, it really can hinder because you're reading into the present what actually happened in the past, and then the other person has no idea what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
All right. So there's a dynamic here that's easy to connect with. This is almost with a little nuance on kind of the Blaine side, the Ethan side of things. So Adrienne, you're going to relate to Mia greatly. So explain to us.
Working out, going to the gym.
Yeah, making people laugh.
Is that where Ethan and I don't fit? Is he goes to the gym and I don't?
That's
yeah, you're not
the
lifting
difference.
as much as he is.
You're a professional athlete, Blaine.
Past.
Well, once a professional athlete, always
True.
a professional athlete.
Can't take that away from
All right,
me.
so Adrienne, remind us about Mia's personality as a 9. What does that look like? Remind us who you are.
Okay, well, we like to keep the peace. We
Yes.
like to keep it light. We don't love tension. We don't like conflict. So we try to keep it.
What does that look
light.
like on the strong side? You're great to be around.
Yeah, good in groups, I would
Yes.
say, because I'm not, me or Mia probably are not, we're not challenging your thoughts. We're going to let you have your thoughts. We're
Yes.
probably going to agree with them, even if inside we don't.
Oh, well, there's the downside.
The shadow.
Is that negative? I thought that was a strength.
Seen that as a positive.
So the downside is, so the upside is peacemakers, love, very aware, a dyadic viewpoint. Remember,
Yeah.
so you're
Is
watching.
that a 9?
Well, 3, 6, and 9 are going to have that attention to the world.
Okay, yeah.
So don't forget, a 9 now is focused on agency and has a dyadic view, whereas I'm a 6, focused on certainty, have a dyadic view. So you and I see the world the same way. We're keenly aware, Blaine. Even as we're talking, we're keenly aware. Are we talking too much? Is Blaine left out? What am I?
Yeah.
So how am I? And then how are other people? Right? And so the positive of the 9 is so many positive, but the negative is sometimes you decenter yourself.
Yeah.
In order to keep control, you actually just say, y'all can all have it.
Yes.
Whereas inside, there's this protest that could be going on. So you could actually agree to something externally and internally be like, there's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel seen.
And then it's kind of confusing for other people because they're like, well, I asked you and you said yes.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't
And
actually
now
want
you're
to.
so one thing with a 9 sometimes is you can hear the word sabotage. They will sabotage the very thing they agreed to because in reality they never wanted to do it to begin with. Right. So that's the downside though. That's the
Yes,
negative
I'm seeing
side.
that.
Blaine's like,
My whole life
absolutely.
is passing in front of my eyes right now.
So, Blaine, you and Ethan are going to have a lot in common in that you both have an outward tendency to the world. And so what's the next activity? What's the next thing? But you're an 8. So your focus, again, is on agency, the idea of how can I be in control of my own life? And I'm going to
Others.
control others in order to be controlling myself.
Right.
Whereas Ethan is really concerned about bonding. So his whole concept is I'm going to have these outward experiences. So a 2 is a helper. So great, focused outwardly on everything that's taking place. I'm going to see the problems. I'm going to go solve the problems so that we can be in a relationship with each other. So think about how these two people would fall in love, why they would fall in love. So the two of you, as an 8 and a 9, you're going to fall in love because you're both going to be about agency. So you're going to have this great respect for each other, of this idea of controlling your own self, making your own decisions. Even as a couple, we want to do our own thing. We don't want outsiders forcing things upon us. So you're bonded in that way. But then as Adrienne loves to kind of back off a little bit, but internally she would kind of like to be more aggressive. You're her aggressor.
Yeah.
You can just go take care of it, right? And then Adrienne comes in and helps you to begin to recognize you have this outward focus, meaning you don't always know what's going on the inside and you don't always know what's going on around you.
Yes.
Adrienne can be like, hey, honey, you realize what you did here?
Yes.
The impact, the relational impact of what's going on. So Mia and Ethan are going to have many of these dynamics. The difference is his personality is not going to be probably as big, although a 2 can be pretty big. But instead of coming in and going, hey, here's what we need to do, an 8 can delegate. Here's what all needs to happen.
Yeah.
A 2's just going to come in and do it themselves.
Do it. Okay.
And they're going to serve you in order to create this bond and this relationship. So you can see what's going on here. One of the reasons they would fall in love here is Ethan's going to look at Mia and go, oh, this is a person who actually doesn't need very much. She's not expressing her need, not showing her need, trying to keep the peace with everything. So he sees somebody he's not going to have to serve as much. But when he does serve her, she sees him and she's like, oh my goodness, how great is he?
Right.
Look at the service that I'm getting. I don't like to initiate my need.
Right.
He just comes in and takes care of it before it's even there. So you can see in a strength kind of concept how they're drawn to each other in a powerful way. But there is an attraction here that I think is intriguing that we would often overlook. And that is, not only are we sometimes attracted to each other's strengths, sometimes we're attracted to each other's illness,
Bum, bum, bum.
which is kind of a weird concept. So notice the text, as if I'm reading scripture. Notice it wasn't a text, it's an email says that she's securely attached and then he is avoidantly attached.
Yeah.
So think about a 9. Now, even though she's securely attached, she's still going to have a little bit of distance from this idea of conflict. So, Adrienne, you don't like conflict. There's just a discomfort. Because if your highest goal is peace, conflict disrupts that.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So she naturally kind of decenters herself to keep the peace. Notice he has an avoidant attachment, which means he avoids conflict.
Yeah.
So she is now drawn.
So they both do?
Yes.
They both avoid conflict.
But for different reasons.
Oh.
She avoids it out of her person. The shadow side of her personality avoids conflict. His insecure attachment style avoids conflict. And so now they're actually drawn to each other. They're for lack of a better term, it's not this bad, but their dark sides are drawn to each other. Because they feel unthreatened. They're not threatened in any way.
Right.
Whereas somebody else, I mean, I would assume on occasion with you guys, Adrienne, is that Blaine's willingness to confront conflict, while a strength many times for you because you don't have to do it, at other times in y'all's relationship can be irritating.
Well, I was
threatening.
Yeah.
I was even going to say, I think I stunt her growth because I just step in and take assertion of things that she could and should be in control of. But because I want to have that agency and I think, in quotations, I know what's best for us or her in the moment, I just go and do it. But really, she's got a lot more internal thought of how everyone else is seeing it, that she could handle that much better. But I just go guns a-blazing because I'm like bulldozing her. I'm blocking her from doing what she should do. That's how I see.
Except I don't want to do it.
I know you don't want to do it.
So I'm happy for you to do it, even if you don't do it.
Well, let's do this poorly as long as you're the one doing
Just
it.
get it done.
Sincerely, that's what it is, though, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like, just get it done. So then she's defeated. I've enabled the bad side of us, and you know what I'm saying, where it's like
not just you, both of us. Because if I was
you've allowed it,
if I wasn't such an avoider,
right?
then
What's interesting here is, Adrienne, you could actually take courage in the knowledge that as a 9, you so hate conflict.
yeah,
I bet you do it really well.
Oh,
So the irony here is the very things you're afraid of, I'm going to mishandle it, or I'm going to say the wrong thing or something like that, that will probably prevent you from really doing that too much, that you'll probably handle it pretty well. So you can actually lean into this a little bit. I was thinking about this the other day. Had a parenting situation among our kids. And Jenny, it tends to be, she's a 1, so she's a reformer, everything, go get it all done, right? I'm the loyal, so I'm kind of laid back.
Yeah.
And so my general theory is, it'll work out. Let's not confront it. And anxious attachment on top of that, like I don't want to become overbearing. And it just hit me. The very fact of my personality, even my attachment style, means I'm not going to be overbearing. It's not like I'm going to burst downstairs yelling and screaming, how dare you, all this kind of stuff, right? So I could actually lean into the conflict knowing, Kevin, you're not going to do this poorly.
Right.
You hate this so much.
Right.
You're probably still going to be too soft in actually what you're doing.
yeah. It's exactly like the golf swing. You got to over-exaggerate the golf swing.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
here,
I know
Kevin.
exactly what you're saying.
And
yes.
babe, you'll understand one day. But at the same time, you
I
have
don't need to.
over-exaggerate the
opposite.
adjustment of the opposite of the golf swing. Herein lies the opportunity for you, where you would think that you're coming off crazy, but in the way everyone else is like, oh, he's a little emotional today. Like, it's nothing crazy. So
Nothing
you
at
gotta,
all.
Go overboard.
Yeah.
But you do go overboard quite extremely.
Well, only at home.
So that is only at home. I love that. Notice that only at home. So that is the downside of the 9 is, So Mia here and Adrienne on occasion, hypothetically. So because you can stuff your feelings, there comes a point where there's no more room to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens
I have a
is
breaking point.
It tends to come out as an explosion.
Right.
So it burst out.
Yeah.
in
Which
that moment.
this morning was a good example of how I think I met you in your explosion, uniting together versus like just doing it my way. It did it our supportive way to try to help a child to school. Right. And we did it together. I think you felt like you had
Yes, because I was trying, and then I'd be like, Blaine, and he'd like tag
Love it.
in, and I'd leave because
I love it.
come walking up the stairs.
to keep the peace when the child refuses to keep the peace.
Yes.
It's hard to not explode.
Yes. No, I love that. And I love the idea of what you'll have learned there is we both have strengths, and there's times either one of us could be right, and yet we reach our breaking point. It's time to tag out and to switch. And what is it that you notice? You notice that you were at the edge of your window of tolerance.
Amen.
Hey,
Right?
Yeah. Which is
big time.
Big time.
And so
time.
instead of then what we often do, if we're not aware of our window of tolerance, we will feel so justified to parent so much harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work.
No. I mean, Sunday mornings are hard because he's already
I'm
at church.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to try and get everyone ready. And one of our children really likes to refuse just to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then my window closes and I feel like a maniac because I don't know what else to do, you know?
And I feel great because I enjoy it.
And I feel great.
I enjoy
Because I'm at church dealing with none of this.
No. This morning, like going in to help the child and pin them down to get them dressed or whatever, I'm like, I enjoy teaching them I'm in control. I don't know, is that part my shadow side where I'm like, yay. But it's like I felt valued to the team.
Yeah.
Because I know she runs a lot of the plays at home, and sometimes you sit and guess, where do I fit in?
I'm the playmaker.
Yeah.
So let's look at the fight that actually took place here.
Not our lives.
And
okay.
no, y'all are good.
Sorry.
And I love that. So first of all, the dating relationship I think is a very important component within this. So this is kind of probably one of their first fights. And so what I hear in the email being sent in here is this concept of, whoa, what just happened here? Like we haven't seen this in a relationship. Suddenly this has suddenly happened. Yeah. First of all, this is extremely common about 5 or 6 months in. Okay. I think you can date anybody for 6 months. I think it's pretty doable, especially depending on what the frequency is. You're showing your best selves to each other. You're only spending time around each other probably whenever you feel really good. There is a euphoric kind of nature of dating and the excitement of all these things that are happening. So it's not uncommon at all for the breakup to happen around 6 months. Because basically you've run to the edge of what is that surface level connection.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go deeper, or one of you doesn't want to go deeper. And so you just break up. So it's not unusual here that we're experiencing our first fight around 5 months because we finally have been around somebody long enough that one of them can't fake it.
Right.
And that's what happened here.
Well, and like you said, they're stuffing the feelings down that they has to come out.
Exactly. Eventually it's going to show itself. And then what do you do in response to that?
Yeah.
So the fight here, right, we're working out, and now he's lifting, she's doing these things. Now notice what's happening here. The different ways we attend to the world is an integral part here. As a 2, same thing with you, Blaine, as an 8. Now a 7 would be the third one that would have this outward focus. So now focus on the outward experience around them, not really aware of what's going on the inside, focus on the experience of what it is that they're actually doing. And then Mia is like us, Adrienne, in that with a 9, she has a dyadic view. So she's aware of herself and her boyfriend who's working out. So even as she's working out, she's thinking about him. And she wants this connection in part to have this reassurance that we have this peace. They're separated,
right,
but we still have this peace. So the way she goes about that is the way their relationship probably goes about it. She's making jokes. So she's connecting.
We're good.
And notice the pattern of what happens here. It's almost it's a 3-step story here. She makes a joke. What does he do? He laughs. But notice this. This is where his anxious attachment is starting to kick in. He has no idea it's happening, by the way.
Yeah.
None of us do.
Right.
But he wants to focus on the experience. She draws his mind out of this outward attention and now into the relationship. It frustrates him on the inside, but he probably doesn't recognize the frustration. So it's already there, but he doesn't know it. He again, an outward focus isn't always aware of what's going on the inside of himself, but it builds. But the way he expresses that is by laughing. So what does that do for her?
Assures her that we're on track here.
It assures her that, oh, I did this once.
Yeah.
I should do this again.
It works. Yeah.
Right? So we're lifting, we're working out, we're doing whatever. She does it again. It connected the first time. Let's make it connect the second time. All right. So my guess is this time he probably recognizes I don't like this. First time he might have felt it but didn't understand it. Now he recognizes it, and he's probably in his brain going, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Like, can't she see I'm lifting this heavy thing? I can't lift and laugh at the same time, right? And so he feels it. But so what does he say? Nothing. He laughs again. He's thinking, think about this, avoidant attachment. I don't want to deal with the actual issue. So he's thinking to himself, if I'll just appease her here, I'll get to go about what I want to do. But his appeasement reassures her that her action is connecting them. So now I need to do this again.
Yeah.
Clearly this is working. So she makes a third joke, and now he explodes. So now what was inside of him burst out of him. And a two many times can have a little bit more of an expressive outward focus, not as concerned about what's going on the inside, which means they can express anger quickly with no problem. An 8 many times can do that as well. It just boils out, and there's no real thought about it of what's going on. But his avoidant attachment might come in and create some shame. So his personality is going to be okay with this expression. His attachment is going to have a little bit of shame about it. But think about what this does for her. Adrienne, what would it look like for you if you did something one time, Blaine applauded you. You did something the second time, Blaine applauded you. You did something the third time, and Blaine yelled at you.
I would be confused and embarrassed.
Yes. That's exact. And embarrassed is such a key word there. I'm sorry. Why embarrassed? Yes. Blaine is suddenly in a fight he didn't even know he was in.
Because I put myself out there. Like, I was vulnerable, and then you like shamed me by yelling, kind of.
Yeah.
And then the confusion on part is like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So what would be your response in that moment? So let's say
I would shut down.
Yes.
I would just be like, okay, maybe I'll just not quit working out, or I'll go over there. Like, I would, okay, we're going somewhere else.
Exactly.
And I would question everything in our relationship.
Yes.
I would be like, oh,
poor Blaine.
He doesn't.
He's like, this is Mia. This isn't me.
The mind of
I
a
will
woman.
work out, babe. I will.
No, I would be like, I would go call my friends and be like, I don't know about this guy. Like, I don't know. Like, something just happened. I don't know him at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the situation has touched on what is one of your greatest vulnerabilities, conflict.
Yep.
Right. And unknowingly, you were somewhat attracted to his avoidant conflict in this situation. She's attracted to his avoidant conflict. She feels safe in that. He's not going to confront issues.
Yeah.
And it feels like love to them. But that element is actually a little unhealthy. They're going to have to learn how to lean in to the conflict.
I would probably also spiral and be like, what if he yelled? Like, what if he's hiding this like secret abusiveness or something? I don't want to put that on him, but my mind would totally spiral.
Yes. So, and that's a little bit of your own anxious attachment that would begin to create that story. I don't know if Mia would go there securely attached, but it could also be a part of the personality of you so value peace that you're constantly looking for any threat to that peace. And so it would make total sense of how that would actually begin to take place. And so meanwhile, Ethan is over here, and now he's truly actually finally expressed what he's been feeling, although he didn't recognize that. And some shame might kick in of, man, I just expressed that in a very poor way. And so notice their natural tendency now, his attachment is going to cause him to walk away. Her personality is going to cause her to walk away. And now they're disconnected.
Wow.
Right? He's feeling some shame for what he did. She's questioning everything about herself, about him, right? He's probably pretty fixated on the outburst of the anger and not so much of what's going on the inside, because he doesn't probably look that way very much. Not saying he can't at all, but it's going to be more difficult. But what I love about this story is they cooled down, they reconnected.
Yeah, it's huge.
They came back. And so he recognized, man, this is not what I want. So here's where they now can begin to leverage their positive sides of their personality. He's a helper. So he can look at now, after just a minute, he can then begin to see her and her need.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's drawn toward that. He wants to help her. He wants to take care of that. So that actually kind of pushes him out of his avoidance, goes, don't go there. But his personality presses him there. So he's finally led by his personality. He goes to reconnect with her. She desperately wants peace. And so even though she wants to disconnect a little bit, she is drawn back in, because she's watching him at the same time of, is he coming back? Is he not coming back? So that very thing that causes her to disconnect can actually encourage her to reconnect. And now they have this beautiful moment of this repair that's taken place. So this is, in the grand scheme of things, this is a minor situation. I think they might have even said it in the email. This wasn't a huge thing. This was just our first real fight. We want to know what happened. Well, if they can now learn the process of what actually took place here, this can save them for years in all these things. And a couple of things that needs to happen. Ethan now needs to be able to say much faster, hey, here's what I'm feeling. Which means over time, he's going to start recognizing that much faster. Right. Imagine if the first time that she joked, put yourself in Mia's situation, Adrienne. The first time she jokes, if he kindly says, hey, that's funny. Hey, can I finish this set? And then connect.
But even that would make you feel a little bit less, no?
If I wasn't secure, yeah.
I'm
secure.
No, I know, but I'm trying to analyze what it is. That
I would probably be like, oh, okay.
So what's a way to laugh? What is a way to communicate it? What's a way to communicate? Hey, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing.
Right.
The timing in which it is happening isn't working.
I guess assuring me that I'm funny. You are funny, but I cannot laugh while I'm lifting. It's just too hard, and
there you go.
I just need to focus, but I love you. Well, maybe they don't say that yet, but I love your humor.
Yeah.
Just not while I'm lifting.
That's a compliment. You're too funny for me to be lifting.
Yeah.
And laughing at it can't happen. You're too funny. So to compliment you and that reassures you, right?
And I'd be like, okay, I don't need to be embarrassed that I was trying to be goofy.
I'm too funny.
I'm too good.
Yeah. Also, I just feel like his outburst while lifting was probably just hard to control physically, because if he is in the mid lift, I just feel like a little.
You got to think.
Stop! I'm gonna die. I'm gonna cry. Crush myself if I don't.
That's why he bursts. He's out of control. I got to survive this.
No, but I also just feel like that would be hard.
Yeah.
To control it.
Yeah. Because I'm now assessing your dating. It's got to be so nervousness, a lot of nervousness about how to articulate what you're really thinking, because you're not trying not to scare the person away. Yes. 15 years into marriage, now finally we can say what we're really feeling, because we're both secure. But in the dating game, and anyone that has anxiousness, it's got to be real sensitive. So a compliment to make the point, to alleviate the stress, so you know the person's need, so you hit the need, and then you can say it, and then you can check back in too, I would assume, right? So it's you do the next set and you check back in.
Then he goes over.
He physically goes over to apply himself to her and be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, wow, look at that. That's great.
Well, that's something too, I would think, and I'm not totally certain here, but I would think if he could begin to learn, hey, the whole time we're in this gym, she's actually going to have me in her mind a little bit.
Alone on that.
So whereas he can just dive into the task.
Yes.
Well, what if he becomes more intentional of, I'm going to go do this task, but after this task, I'm going to go check in with her and then go do my next task.
Yeah.
And actually what that's doing is he probably wants some alone time here to go work out and get this done.
Well, and previous to this, he probably was working out alone. He probably didn't have a girlfriend.
This is new.
Maybe he did, but not in this same way.
Yeah. So if he'll come check in with her, that'll make her feel connected and peace-filled, which will actually give him the alone time that he wants.
And that he's looking for.
But if all he does is get the alone time, it could cause some stress within her to where she might seek him out. Now, she's securely attached. That's a little bit more anxious approach.
Yeah.
But she's securely attached. But that might allow that to happen.
Yeah.
What's taking place.
Yeah. And a guy like him who is a helper, it's important for a helper to figure out how they can help.
Yeah.
But to realize that you're helping proactively is a task in itself too. I can see the best side of this scenario where this hopefully turns into a marriage, but this relationship is going well.
Well, and here let's look at what each of them needs to learn from this and how moving forward this can be a powerful moment in the relationship that can really say, man, we want to go to the next step because of how we handle this. The repair is beautiful. So he needs to learn to better understand what's going on inside of himself and to communicate it faster.
Yeah.
So in Love Styles, we talk about the table illustration, what's going on above the table, what's going on below the table. Above the table, he was laughing, he exploded. Below the table, there was never laughter.
Right.
Below the table, it was
never.
Leave me alone. I've got to do this thing.
Minor frustration, significant frustration, major frustration.
Right.
So in fairness to her, he needs to be better understanding what's going on inside of him. And then how can I communicate that to her faster when it will actually, look what happened here. He got outside of his window of tolerance.
Yep.
And the communication of the truth didn't happen until he was outside his window of tolerance. He needs to learn how to do that inside his window to bring peace, right? And then I think what she needs to learn how to do in this moment is, my guess is the moment he exploded, she shut down. She needs to find a way to stay awake and in it. It's Adrienne.
I can't.
Adrienne wants no part of this growth step.
Why can't you?
So uncomfortable.
But it's like whatever.
Well, I mean, with you now, yes.
No, with
I can
other
do
people.
But notice what needs to happen here. Here, Adrienne, here's the switch that takes place. And you have this ability, and Mia has this ability, because of a dyadic view where you're looking at yourself and others. The downside of that is you're never fully looking at either one. But the upside is that at least you're aware. Notice if Mia in this moment would learn, and this is a huge step of maturity, and she's a decade away from probably being able to do this.
Sure.
But imagine if they do get married and later on the marriage, this kind of thing happens. He isn't in touch with what's going on underneath the table. It builds, it explodes out. Now she sees it. The temptation, especially for a 9, but the temptation for all of us is we take that personally, right? He protests, she defends. What if instead of doing that, she could fixate on him for just a moment? And instead of feeling threatened, what if she said, oh, honey, I'm sorry. Are you overwhelmed right now?
What's going on? Yeah.
So instead of defending, open-handedly looking at him and just asking, hey, tell me more about what that explosion was. Tell me more. And now what's happening is she's fighting against the shadow side of her 9 personality where she's staying connected. She recognizes, hey, the conflict here actually doesn't have to lead to disconnection. You can actually have peace even with some angst, because we're actually going to experience peace faster if I stay here than if I run.
Yeah.
So if I can stay in it, if I can focus on him, then that begins to teach him and give him the opportunity to learn more about what's underneath.
Yeah.
Because if she just runs here, he does the explosion without any introspection of where is that coming from. And so he just knows it came from somewhere. He doesn't know where it came from.
Right.
Where if she stays in it and encourages him to communicate more what he's feeling, it's going to train his brain to look inward, to find words, to stumble across it and begin to share it, which now later then empowers him to take the very step he has to take, which is to express it faster.
Right.
So her running here and him running here actually deepens the groove of both of their shadow sides. Whereas if they repair, and they did a great job repairing, if they can do that faster, it will then begin to teach them new skills of how to connect, so that next time this conflict is much more minimal. And so there's not an actual explosion. There's a connection.
Because the superpowers that you guys would have would be, you could sense and see this insecurity in someone else before they even explode, right? Because you're feeling what's inside them, inside you. Me, here I am just experiencing what's outside me. And then you can notice things in me. It's like, oh, he's stressed. And then she can proactively say, hey, let's go for the walk. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm like, oh, that was great. I didn't know I needed that even.
Yeah.
Right.
How can you not know?
And how can you, how can you not, like, how would you take that personal? That's my curiosity. It's like, if I'm joking, ha ha ha, ha, I'm joking, ha ha ha, ha, I'm joking, and you guys snap at me, I'm like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, first off, I know it was funny, so we should be laughing. Secondly, none of this logically makes sense in my brain. Why suddenly there's an explosion? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's...
Yeah, but you think you would have done that at like 20?
Right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Well, and that's what I love about this. I love the openness of being willing to even communicate this. Hey, help us understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because this is really setting this couple up where they can have a powerful relationship if they start leaning in and understanding what's going on inside of each other. No, let's close in this way. Notice he did not get the problem until he could see in her pain. So he has an outward attendance, right?
Yeah.
So he's all about, I'm lifting weights. He's all about what he's experiencing. And it wasn't until she probably felt disconnected that he could see it and then go, oh, I need to go repair that.
Which is kind of cool because like dating is in a way like a reflection of yourself. You can see how what you're doing affects the other person. And if you're not paying attention, like you never learn.
Yeah.
So you have all these selfish things, but then you're dating and you see how it affects someone and then you can learn, it's like a learning. It's just,
Yeah. This is very cool.
And if you're like secure, you're actually allowing yourself to accept what you're learning.
Yeah.
If you're anxious or avoidant, ironically, you'll just avoid it.
You can.
Yeah.
You can,
Or
no doubt.
good. Yeah.
So here's the thing. We learned today that we change names whenever people email in. So if you want to email in your fight and you're terrified your spouse might figure out who you are,
we won't know who
we
you are.
change your names. We try to make it to where it's not actually the case. Sometimes if it's too specific, we actually change genders as well, just to keep it on the edge. So we would love for you can text in, go to changetheodds.com and you can text in your fight and maybe we can break it down on our next episode. But until next time, thanks so much for watching. And we are trying to change the odds. Why? Because marriage and family were never meant to be a game of chance. We'll see you next time.